The quiet town of Haven Ridge was not accustomed to excitement, so when a series of strange lights appeared in the night sky, the townspeople were more intrigued than frightened. It was a quiet Tuesday evening when Sarah Carter looked up from her dinner and saw an unusual sight in the night sky above Haven Ridge. At first she thought it was a fallen star or perhaps some distant fireworks. But as the nights went by, the lights returned, growing brighter and more frequent. People started talking about it over cups of coffee at the local diner, on the front porch swings. But there was no consensus and no answers. Then the strange occurrences began. Power outages hit, plunging the town into darkness for hours at a time. Dead birds and animals turned up in the fields, their eyes wide and staring. And a low, constant humming noise seemed to permeate the very air. Fear began to take root, but still there were no answers. Meanwhile, Emma Doyle, a reclusive astrophysicist, had returned to her childhood home in Haven Ridge after the death of her sister. Though she had left the town years ago, she had been drawn back by the mystery of the lights. Had always felt different from the other townspeople, interested in the stars than in gossip, and now they needed her help. As Emma watched the lights dance in the night sky, she noticed something peculiar. Hidden within the static of her television set, there seemed to be a strange signal, a repeating pattern that seemed to be coming from the sky. Unable to shake this feeling, she ventured out into her field and discovered strange markings that had been burned into the crops. Overnight, these strange occurrences became more intense. Emma's dreams grew terrifying, filled with faceless beings standing at her window. When she awoke, her skin would be cold, as if she had been touched by something otherworldly. People began to vanish, first quietly, then in larger numbers. The missing persons were not the typical recluse or troubled youth. They were well-liked and respected members of the community. At first, their absence went unnoticed, but as days turned into weeks, their empty desks and silent houses became impossible to ignore. Emma found her late father's briefcase, which was filled with classified documents detailing strange lights in the sky and entire towns that had vanished without a trace. Her father, a government agent, had been investigating these incidents, trying to uncover the truth. Over time, it became clear that these visitors had come to Earth before, and each time they had taken an entire town. With this new knowledge, Emma realized that Haven Ridge was in grave danger. But the more she investigated, the more she uncovered a terrifying truth. The beings from the sky were not here to communicate or collaborate. They were conducting a harvest, and Haven Ridge was their next target. As the final night descended upon Haven Ridge, a small group of survivors, including Emma, prepared to flee the town. They had discovered the truth about the visitors and their sinister intentions. The creatures were repelled by fire and light, but attracted to water. Their plan was to lead the creatures away from the town by setting fire to the buildings and luring them towards the river. They raced through the dark, moonless night, the flames from the burning buildings casting long, eerie shadows behind them. Just as they reached the riverbank, a large, shadowy figure emerged from the darkness. The creature was tall and thin, its limbs too long and its movements too fluid. With a sudden burst of speed, it lunged at Emma, knocking her to the ground. She could feel its cold, slimy skin and smelled the stench of decay that emanated from it. But just as quickly as it had attacked, it vanished. Disoriented and terrified, Emma stumbled to her feet and fled. She ran as fast as she could, the sound of the creature's heavy footsteps pounding behind her. Suddenly, she realized that the ground beneath her feet was no longer solid earth, but a vast, unending ocean. The air was thick and heavy, making it difficult to breathe. And all around her, she could hear the creatures moving, their guttural voices echoing in the darkness. Had been brought to the surface, and what she saw made her blood run cold. Above her, the sky was filled with the creatures. They had followed her to the surface, and now they were everywhere. The invasion of Haven Ridge was just the beginning. These beings had come for all of humanity. And that's all for our spooky story today. Let us know in the comments if you liked it and what other scary stories you want to hear. Don't forget to hit the like button if you enjoyed the story. Subscribe for more amazing stories. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.